I have two lamps, set of wings,
Yeah,
and
Batman's
yeah, bat
angel wings.
wings, Batman wings. So
Yeah, yes, I got also the fighter jet vibes
yeah,
from this.
yeah, that too.
From the Jetsons, I guess that was a show. I guess.
Jetson.
Yeah, it looks somewhat similar. I
Yeah,
can't put
yeah,
the name on the car.
yeah. No, and that's
Looks
part
good.
of it. Like you want to do
Yeah, it looks good.
interesting things, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Like you want people to say, "Hey, what the heck is that?" Right?
Mhm.
The first thing we need to do is what are the parts that you're gonna show in translucency? So let's say you have all this panel translucent, I don't know, or let's say you have a piece
Yeah.
here, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you have a piece here that you want to show translucency. I
Mhm.
would say sketch the piece first, right?
Okay.
So I'm just trying to follow your forming here.
Yeah.
Let's say, let's do something random, right? So right now, I'm just gonna focus on sketching your piece, right? Nothing else.
Okay.
Just gonna try to do something, try to follow the form, right? Roughly what you have here. So let's say you have a BMW likes that. Maybe you have like a wing in here, right? Just gonna try to come up with something.
Mhm.
Let's say you have something here, right? Just gonna sketch it very rough first, right? Then you have sort of like a
Oh.
cone. Then you have another one, cone like that, right? So let's say I'm trying to get also like a very gothic type of piece.
Yeah.
So kind of helps with your design, right? So yeah, I guess that works. So anyone, if you guys want to jump in and comment something, or if you have any thoughts, just please jump in. We're trying to figure things out here. It'll be maybe here. So then you have the curve, right? So as you guys can see at the beginning, I'm just trying to figure things out roughly, right? Trimming parts, chopping, try to get a feeling of okay, what kind of geometry am I trying to do? That is just part of it, right? And then you clean up later, but you need to have a rough idea, right? And this is basically how it goes. You have a rough idea what to do, and then you think about cleaning the whole part, but you first need to do it quick, right? So then you don't spend much time on something that the perspective is wrong and something that it doesn't look as good.
Okay.
So, but you see, like I'm just adding a piece, let's say a made up piece that you might want to show in translucency, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like that, right? So that's why it's important. You need to know what is it, right? First.
Okay.
So, and then, oops, let's say I'm gonna do a quick overlay of this thing, right? I'm gonna forget about this guy for a bit.
Mhm.
Okay, gonna make a quick overlay. And then here, let's say in this overlay, I'm gonna try to figure out the details, right?
Mhm.
Roughly, what is the shape, right?
Mhm.
You have a cool feature here. And hmm. So yeah, this is technically the secret of doing, well, not the secret, but the logic behind the translucency parts. The translucent parts, because you need to know what is it that is going to show,
Let me translucent.
right? And then if you know what is going to show, you can just put the surface on top, right? So yeah, this is my take on
Yeah,
Gothic design.
looks
Um,
cool.
yeah,
Looks really cool.
yeah.
So, what is
Yeah.
this part actually that you have taken for translucency?
What's that?
What is the part that you have taken for this translucency of the car?
This
If
one.
you have to put a name to it.
Oh, what is the part? What is the name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I would
Like there's
say,
a rocker panel. So, like, what is this part of the car that you have
yeah,
taken?
it's just like a part of a chassis, like a part of
Like
there's a
the
part of the,
main structure.
yeah, there's a part of the chassis at the front that is called, I think
Okay.
it's like a crash can,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is like a, I mean, the logic behind is like, I guess it looks like a can that you just crash it
Mhm.
and just like squeeze
Gotcha.
it. So it's
Uh,
kind of like the part of the chassis that absorbs the impact when it's from the front.
okay. Yeah.
So, and I would say it's just some sort of like a part of a crash can. So I
Okay.
would say that.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah,
Mm.
what this project will show in your portfolio is creativity. It's just like,
Mm.
okay, you're thinking about different approaches. It
Mm.
doesn't mean that part exists, but
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
is this that part is sort of like inspiring, right? To
Mm.
to maybe do some other different parts,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Because that's in the studios, that's what they want to see. They want to see just different perspective. If you think about it, all
Mhm.
studios, they have their own designers and they've been doing cars for a while, right? So they know cars, man. Like if you came and say, "Oh yeah, I mean this car, that car," it's like, "Yeah, so what? I know those cars. I work
Uh,
on those." Like they know the cars. So
yep.
what do you think is what they want to see on a new designer?
Creativity, I guess.
Well, yeah,
Something fresh.
different perspectives, right?
Perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
You have a different perspective, different approach, right?
Mm.
You see ways
Yep.
different way. So, and that's why they say, you know what, we need this guy because it might be a good combination. But if
Okay.
you're a guy who only does normal cars, you know everything about cars, but all your cars look like cars.
Yeah.
So they're gonna say, "Hmm, well, I mean, nice cars, but that's what we do here, and we need something with a
Fresh.
different perspective, right? Something fresher, like
Mm.
something to get excited, right? So that's basically the logic, right? So okay, so I'm almost done with the
Yep.
Gothic element. Gothic element. All right. But yeah, basically I would suggest just to play around with
Mm.
forms like that,
Mhm.
right? It got to the point that is Gothic probably in the way it looks language wise,
Mm.
but just make sure it's not too complicated, right? I try my best not to make it too complicated, but I just want to prove a point here. Just want to
Yes, it looks simple, but it's complicated as well. But you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
read it easily.
Yeah, you
So,
can read it because it's like a we have two lamps, set of wings,
yeah,
and
Batman's
yeah,
angel
bat
wings.
wings, Batman wings. So
Yeah, yes, I got also the fighter jet vibes
yeah,
from this.
yeah, that too.
From the Jetsons, I guess. That was a show, I guess.
Jetson.
Yeah, it looks somewhat similar. I
Yeah,
can't put
yeah,
the name on the cover.
yeah. No, and
It
that's
looks
part
good.
of it. Like you want to do
Yeah, it looks good.
interesting things, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Like you want people to say, "Hey, what the heck is that?" Right?
Mm.
You don't want people to say like, "Oh yeah, I saw that BMW, blah blah blah."
Mm.
Oh, it looks like the classic BMW, blah blah blah. Like you don't want
But
people to say that.
yeah.
You want people to say, "Oh, that looks like the future of BMW."
Mm. True.
So, anyways, there you go. Without the overlay, kinda base the point. Right? So let's say this is your part.
Mm.
And we come back to your sketch,
Mhm.
right? Let's say this is one way you can show
Translucency.
translucency, right? Because you're going to work on the same perspective.
Uh-huh.
You have your sketch, and then what you're gonna do next,
Mhm.
let's say I'm
Okay.
gonna go
That's it.
and try to get some of your surface in here,
Mhm.
right? Just gonna do it at the front. Oops. Let's say I want to get something like this, that, right? Just gonna try not to make it too complicated because since you have a translucency already, I think it's good to not make it too complicated. So gonna have this. Now at this point, you're gonna think about the exterior design, right?
Mhm.
Try to
Okay.
make it simple, but don't think about just try to make the simple surfaces for the exterior design. That's it.
Mm.
That's all you need. That's all you need to think about now, right? Section lines, that's important,
Mhm.
right? Then let's say we have something more. It gives me a little like a Bentley
Yeah. Because of the
vibes.
headlights, I
Yeah, the
guess.
headlamps. Yeah,
The circular headlights.
yeah.
Mm.
Which doesn't matter. You can
Mm.
just go for it. Just go for it.
Mhm.
And we get this here. Oops. My bad. And then let's say we have a try to simplify this body side, right?
Yep.
You see how this line goes like that and then this guy shooting up?
Yeah.
Like it's better if you align those, right? You
Mhm.
have maybe this guy and you move it
Mm.
like that. You're a little bit wedge.
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Then this is more connected, right? Yeah. No, but I like the section lines that you're putting here. I think it helps to read the car way better.
Mm.
So okay, let's just do this part.
Yeah.
So far so good, guys. Any questions, thoughts? All right. Ooh, okay, let's give it a shot like that.
Mm.
So then we have your translucency part. Let's say, just save a copy first. But let's say you're not going to see certain parts, right? So
Mm.
let's say on the wheel, you might not see it, right? You chop it.
Okay.
And from there, let's say you see it, right?
Mm. Uh, and then I just shade above it,
Yes.
like the surface, the body basically.
Yeah, whatever. And then here you need to decide what kind of things you want to show, right?
Mm.
Maybe you have a mask, right? Let's say that's why I was stressing out on making simple
Mm.
because you can read the shapes better. So let's say you have a mask in here, right? So you have the whole front translucent,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So let's say from here, you don't see anything about the form, right?
Yeah, it looks a bit translucent here.
Yeah. Yeah, so then here, well, you're gonna start doing like shapes, right? You need to focus on the shapes now, right? Let's say if I want to do some, okay, this has to be underneath, right? So let's say if I want to do some shading like that, right? It's almost like, this is the point that almost like you need to render like glass, you know?
Mm. Right.
Then you have some trims in here, oops, right? Here you have this guy exposed, so
Mm.
you probably won't need lines on top of this guy. You won't need lines on top of this guy. You will probably gonna make some accents here. But this gives you an idea
Yeah.
how your shape works in relation with the top surface, right?
True. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a little bit too, as I said, it takes time, it gets a little
Yeah.
complicated because
Uh-huh.
you need to figure out the pieces.
Hmm.
But
After that, it's simple, I guess.
yeah, so that's why is keeping it simple is key,
It's better.
especially if you're gonna show these type of things.
Yeah. Right.
Let's say and then what you're gonna do is just put sort of like shading on top.
Shading,
know?
yeah. Yes, I get the idea now.
Yeah.
Like the basic logic, it's getting clearer in my head right now.
Yeah, it's getting like clear,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
clear surfacing, and then you try to shade it like that, and then you let the underneath expose a little bit. So yeah, so roughly I can tell that something is translucent here,
Translucent, yeah.
or something is like showing underneath, right?
Yeah. And so after this, for the paint thing that you did, the basically render.
Yeah.
So I can to make it look like a bit frosted. I can do a blur over it,
What do you mean? The
like a frosted glass thingy.
yeah,
That's translucent. So we can just put a blur as well, right, over it.
yeah, you can put blur. Yeah,
And
yeah,
like I'm asking, like for exploration, that's good,
yeah.
or
For
that will
experts,
make it a little bit more complicated in the early stages, and I should save it for the last.
no, I mean it's fine if you do it
Okay.
from the beginning. I mean the
Okay.
design process is all kinds of approaches. So yeah.
Yeah.
So and also in your pages when you're
Mhm.
doing this, for example,
Mhm.
you can show
Oh,
show how this thing is,
mm. Okay.
right? Kind of
Yep.
like the inner piece, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And that helps you to convey the point, right?
Yes.
But basically, in theory, is you should have simple surfaces,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have um, internal element, ideally simple.
Mm-hmm.
That was just me trying to do my take on Gothic,
Yes.
pero but yeah, technically it should be simpler.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
right.
actually concentrating on the wrong stuff, I guess. I should have concentrated on the inside stuff that's going to be translucent.
If it's going to be translucent, yeah, the
The main stuff is inside, yeah.
insides are like the main.
Right. Okay, so I'll definitely work on it.
Oops.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you can tell that there's something underneath,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yep.
So, all right. And also you can make the argument that you have sort of like a bend in here, just
Mhm.
like that, right? Like the air goes in there, right?
Yeah. F.
So yeah, there's many things you can do.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, all of this is translucent.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, at least this part,
Hmm.
right? You also make
Yes.
your hood, maybe you make it hollow like that,
Hmm.
right? Looks like that.
Hmm.
So air goes in and air goes out somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in here.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir, I get that. I'll try this for sure.
Yeah. So just try to keep the inner pieces simple.
Mhm.
You need to design two things, right? You need to design your simple piece at
Mhm.
the outer surface,
Mhm.
right? Outer surface, simple piece, and then inner surface, simple piece, right?
Mm. Yep.
In, out. Then you
Yep.
shade this guy.
Mhm.
You put the simple shading on this guy, which is your simple surface, right?
Mhm.
Make sure it reads well,
Yep.
right? Oops. You combine them together.
Yep.
And you get translucency.
Translucency.
So make sure
Mhm.
out is simple
Yeah. Okay.
and in can be a little bit technical,
Okay. Mhm.
techy, because then you create a nice contrast. If you